Dis Via en dis goeiemôre, good morning aan jou. Sports editor at Media24, Nathia Marshall joins us today and we're going to chat all things FIFA and of course World Cup. Nathia, thank you so much for your time, really appreciate that, particularly at this time of the morning. I think the first thing one has to go is right back to the beginning and Bafana Bafana's campaign. After that first game against Mexico, everyone was going, oh boy, we're coming home early. But of course, we saw the opposite of that. Just put that in context for me and how you saw that from your point of view, please.
Good morning. I think we started on a very bad note with the loss against Mexico. But, just the way we played, I think that in itself was a disaster. But after that, as the games came along, the team got stronger and stronger. So the team got quite stronger as the games against Czechia. We once again started out bad, but we ended quite strong in the second half. And then, of course, in the game against South Korea, we were just so much better than the two previous games. So. Yeah, and I think that was the important thing is that the team just got stronger and stronger as the games went on.
And what would you ascribe that to, Nathia? That's quite an interesting process. Were they, I almost want to use the word overawed on that first game, and then things just started getting better?
I think a lot has to do with the way you go into these games as well. I remember from the very first day when we heard that we are playing in the opening match, even the coach himself said, listen, that it's going to be extremely difficult to win this first game against Mexico in the Azteca Stadium. And I think that it works on your mind. And also remember, you're playing in front of something like 100,000 people. And there's so few South Africans in that crowd. So that is all things that work on you. But the longer you stay there, you acclimatize, you get used to the people, you get used to the vibe, and you just confidence start growing. And I think that had a lot to do with it as well.
I mean, jy praat van selfvertroue en natuurlik toe ons dit regtig nodig gehad het en toe ons die wen nodig gehad het, toe kan ons die knoop deurraak.
Ja, kyk, ek dink dit was baie belangrik geweest dat veral toe in die tweede wedstryd na die einde van die tweede wedstryd kon jy reeds sien dat die selfvertroue begin bou. Die spelers begin nou weer hulle selfvertroue en hulle speel die soort sokker wat ons weet hulle kon speel. En dit het dan toe net oorgedra na die derde wedstryd teen Suid-Korea.
Ongelukkig hekkie te ver vir ons op die ou einde, maar wat dink jy dit beteken vir ons om deur te dring na die laaste 32 vir Suid-Afrikaanse sokker oor die geheel?
Kijk, ek dink dit was net die feit dat ons nou vir die eerste keer in die uitklopronde was 'n groot sielkundige oorwinning vir ons as land en as span. Wat jy ook moet onthou is dat dit nou die eerste keer was dat daar 48 spanne was in die wêreldbeker. So dit sou sê vir ons om nie die uitklopronde te haal. Dit sou waarskynlik 'n groot ding gewees het. Want met 48 spanne was die kans nog groot op spanne soos Suid-Afrika om deur te gaan. So ek dink dit was 'n groot sielkundige opstoot vir ons dat ons die laaste 32 gehaal het.
Jy noem 'n interessante punt, 48 lande, meer as 100 wedstryde. In jou opinie, is dit te veel of val dit reg op die oor?
Ek dink toe hulle eers begin met die konsep van 48, het almal gedink nee, maar dit gaan veel te veel wedstryde wees. Daar gaan te veel sokker wees, daar gaan te veel spanne wat nie goed teen mekaar opweeg nie. Maar die kompetisie in Noord-Amerika het gewys hoe dit kan werk, want daar was baie minder wedstryde waar die spanne eintlik oor mekaar geloop het. So ek dink dit kan werk.
Nathia, ek is verskriklik geïnteresseerd om te hoor wat jy sê oor die naweek en ek wil die vraag so vra, don't cry for me Argentina.
Ja. Kijk, almal, als je net die naam Argentinië noemt, dan onmiddellik is dit net Messi wat almal van dink, maar jy weet, maar mense moet ook nie vergeet van Frankryk. Frankryk is waarskynlik het span by die beste sokker gespeel het so ver. En dan het jy natuurlik spanne soos Spanje, wat ook dopgehou moet word. En natuurlik moet ook nie vergeet van Marokko. Marokko het verlede keer die halfwyn ronde gehaal, so almal verwag het die keer selfs beter gaan vaar.
Please describe to us how you see the next few games, because obviously, as we saw over the weekend, massive surprises that I think very few, even bookies, would have called. How do you see the rest of the run-up to the final?
I think the one thing that's happening now, the teams are much closer to one another when it comes to these matches, and especially now when you reach the quarterfinal, the semi-finals, you're not going to get walkovers anymore. So, and in many cases, it's what happens on the day. Remember, these teams, they are strength-wise, they are on the same level. So, what happens on the day has a big, when it comes to the outcome of the match, is on the day everything goes right for you, and all of a sudden you have Norway walking over Brazil or whatever the case may be. So a lot has to do on how you prepare and how ready you are for the match on the day. But as you said, teams like Argentina, France, Spain, those are the guys that they are always there when it comes to these big games.
So make a call for me. Tell me how you see the semi-finals. Who's going to be there?
I still believe that. I think you'll have Argentina there just because of Messi. I mean, Messi, to have someone like Messi in your team, your place in the semi-finals probably booked already. So we're looking at outside France as a very big chance of going through. I'm not sure who's meeting who in the next rounds, but I would say France is almost a certainty because of the way they have been playing. And then, of course, we also have, as you said, Argentina. I'd say those are the big names. But also, if you look at England, I think England has surprised many people with the results that they have been getting, especially with Harry Kane at his best. So that is another team that you have to watch out for.
Lastly, before we wrap it up, give me one thing that you've learned from this World Cup that you didn't know before it kicked off.
I think the good thing for me, or the surprise package was for everybody, I would say, is the fact that 9 African teams went through to the round of 32. So it shows that African soccer has improved a lot, and I think going forward we can only expect much more from these African teams. So I think that was the one big thing that surprised me, was the success of the African team.
Nathir, thank you so much, the sports editor at Media 24. Baie goed om met hom te gesels en so vinnige insig na Wêreldbeker sokker. Bly ingeskakel, ons is net hierna terug, dan vind ons uit hoekom is die ekonomie soos hy is en hoe beïnvloed dit die jeug? Wat gaan hulle daarmee maak in die toekoms? Bly ingeskakel.